Good evening, everybody.
Kavod Harav, how are you?
Thank you. Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem.
Hi. Okay, so it says in Bet Yosef, Hasinam Perek Kama de Brachot. We have in the first Perek of Brachot, B'tchila Omer Adonai Sifatay Tiftach. First he says this, right? That's how he opens up the Amidah, which is a pasuk, right? In Tehillim Nun Aleph, V'sof Omer Yul Ratzon. And then he says Yul Ratzon, Imrefi, which is Tehillim Yutet. It's all from Tehillim. Katav Rashba, says Rashba regarding that. The Sof Perek Kaya Koreh, over there in this Perek, B'Shem HaRa'avad, in the name of this rabbi, Gabe Elohai Netzor, regarding this prayer that we do at the end, She'en nachon lomar Yud Ratzon achar atachanunim. Not proper to say Yud Ratzon after the supplications. After the supplications, like kodem lahem, we should do beforehand, not afterwards. Lachar siyum yudchet, right? So, what do we do, by the way? We do twice, right? We do before and we do after, if you notice. After the end of the 18 blessings, just like David said at the end of the 18 Psalms. So he brings brachot over here, Tet Amud Bet. Says the Rashba also, furthermore, the tshuva and the tshuva. Katabti b'samuch that I wrote close by. Same thing was written by this rabbi, Perek Tfilat HaShachar, over there in this place, which is in Brachot. Katav Od, he writes further. He wants to go and say it again, right? As we said, right? We do say it again. We say it twice. Harashut biado, he can do that if he likes. There's no prohibition to do it twice, whatever. Even with the blessings, right, if you're coming to say at the end of them, kol bracha min bracha, something similar to the blessing, right? Some kind of request, as we said. Omer velo, you can do that. Velo adif yul ratzon brachot atzman. So he says it's not any different than the blessings themselves. So therefore, there's no prohibition to put in there. Okay, so that's Bet, Bet Yosef. Let's see now the Shulchan Aruch. It says Shulchan Aruch, En nachon lomar tachanunim kodem yul ratzon. Not proper to say supplications before the ratzon. That's why we say the ratzon, and then right we start the Elohai Netzor, which is the supplication part. Ela achar siyum yudchet miyad. So what you should do is first Yomar Yul Ratzon, after right after you finish the 18 blessings. If you want to say it again, right after the supplications, Achat Tachtonim, Al Reshut Biyado, no problem, right? You can do it twice. So this is the way we do it now, right? We do it twice, as we said. Okay, good. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll go to Gimel. Okay, so we'll do the tour first here. Yeah, so it says the tour like this. That's what it says in Haggadah. Amar Shemuel, Kol Azariz Lomar. Whoever is right zealous to say Dalet Dvarim Halalu, these four things, Zocher Mekabel Pnei Shechina. He has the divine presence dwell on him, right? He's doing well. What is that? Aseh leman shenach, aseh leman yimenach. Do it for the sake of your name. Do it for the sake of your right hand. Aseh leman toratach, aseh leman kedushatach. Do it for the sake of your Torah and do it for the sake of your holiness. And we do this, right? We do it in Elohai Netzor. So that's why we have it, because whoever says these things, these four things, he receives the divine presence. לכן נהגתי לומר אלוהי נצור עד וקלקל מחשבותם. He says that's how I'm accustomed to do, to all this thing. מלכנו ואלוהינו ואלוהי יכול עשה, יחד שמך בעולמך, בני עילך יסד ביתך ושכלל היכלך, קרב קץ ביאת משיחך, פני עמך לשמח עדתך, עשה למען שמך, עשה למען תורתך, עשה למען קדושתך, עשה למען מלאכי מרומים, עשה למען ימינך, עשה למען צדקתך, עשה למענך, אם לא למעננו, למען יחלצון ידידיך, הושיע ימינך, מעננו יהיו רצון לפי ויעשו. This was a supplication that this rabbi was accustomed to say, right? We don't do this one. We have a different one. Not exactly this whole thing here that he brings here. It's written in the Siddur, pretty much, standard. So there are some Siddurim that add more things there, optional stuff. But in general, there's no need for that stuff.
What you're mentioning is the one that says, "My God, guard my tongue from evil, my lips from speaking deceitfully." This is supplication.
Right, that one, yes.
Okay, thank you. And then I have seen that there are other ones that say an additional, no, in the Sephardic.
Right, yeah, there's different versions, but basically that's a standard one, that everybody does.
That it keeps you from anger, and I like that one, but I can't insert that one here.
Okay.
This is so detailed, it keeps you from anger.
Okay, I like it. If you like it, that's fine, no problem.
So what do? I just make a copy and insert it here?
Wait, you mean it's not your Siddur?
Well, no, not in the Ashkenazi version. No, not that one.
Where is it?
In the Sephardic one.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's nice and detailed.
Anyway, I mean, if you really like, you can put it in, but it's up to you.
Okay.
Not necessary.
Not necessary. You know how much we need all the details, and we forgot to pray for that.
What do you mean? What, for the anger?
Well, the anger, the jealousy, it's so detailed,
Yeah. Okay. Well, so there's different types of people in this world. Like some people just want to pay the minimum. And that's good enough for them. Some people like to add stuff. And over there you can add. So, it's not really a problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
After you say the first Yidat Son, you're allowed to put supplications there, as we said. So if you want to add stuff there, also you can do like personal requests as well over there.
And in the Sephardic, I've seen also that they add sometimes Tehillim. I think it's 67 and 121. No.
Well, there's no end to it, the famous, the famous joke, it's actually I think it happened really, once they gave a guy, like a Siddur,
Mm-hmm.
So, he didn't know yet how to pray so good. So, the rabbi comes back at the end of the day and tells him, he says, well, did you pray? So he says, yes, I read through the whole thing. He says, I read the whole Siddur.
Oh,
Tell him, you don't have to read the whole Siddur. That's not the whole point.
well, I guess it depends
So,
on
what
your
I mean? Some people think, the more you say, the better it is. But the truth is, it's really optional. It's just, whatever you want to add, you could add.
Rabbi, so the Ribon Alma is not in many Sidurs. Can we add Ribon
Oh,
Alma?
where is that? Where is that located in your Siddur? Ribon Alma.
No, it's not on my, it's in a different Sidur that I have. So
where they put that in?
it was just before, I
Is
think
it in
it's
the Amidah or outside the Amidah?
before the Amidah.
Before the Amidah?
Yeah. Let me see.
Well, look, as I said, there's no end to these prayers. I mean, you can add, until the end of the world, right? So whatever you want to do, it's up to you.
Okay.
But there is a standard obligation, you know what I mean? That's what we tell people to do. If they want to add more, so that's fine, whatever they want to do.
Thank you.
As long as it's not a blessing in vain or something like that, you know what I mean? That we can't do, right? We can't do blessings in vain. So you got to be careful about that. But besides that, you can pretty much do what you want to see supplications, you want to make requests. God bless you. You have time, you got the time. You're not running to work, the job isn't waiting for you. No problem. You can pray as much as you want, We rabbis, we personally prefer to learn more than to pray. So that's why we do the minimum of prayer usually, and then because we like to learn. Learning is more important than prayer. You know what I mean? So, as a Torah scholar, usually the emphasis is more on learning.
And on Rosh Hashanah, aren't like people? Are we supposed to pray more than learn? I think no.
Well, yeah, that's a good one. I like that, but the truth is that, this is a mistaken conception. Even on holidays, high holy days, a person should learn, and there's no need to, to go all out, and pray all day. In fact, I think it's a wrong approach, because learning is more important. Learning is from the Torah. Prayers is only from the rabbis. So you can't put the rabbis in front of the Torah. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And some of these things are not even from the rabbis. They're just customs. So you want to put customs in front of learning Torah?
Mm-mm.
I don't think that's a good bet.
No, I'm not going to be able to hold the custom.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'll tell you the story, that I heard about my rabbi, Maran al-Shalom, and also his friend, Rabbi Shol. These were the big two Sephardi rabbis of the generation. So, when there are some rabbis, they require, when you get out of the bathroom to wash your hands with a cup, you know what I mean? But according to halakha, it's not required to do that. So, the rabbi, Maran, he didn't do it, with a cup, so one time they asked him, why aren't you, stringent about it? Do it with a cup. What's the big deal? So I told him, it's for me, it's bitul Torah. I'm wasting Torah time. It's just picking up the cup and filling it up. I'd rather be learning all that time. So they had a rule, these rabbis, that whatever makes bitul Torah, whatever decreases Torah time, stringencies, we don't do stringencies like that, because it's more important to learn Torah.
Yes, I understand it. Yes.
Now we're doing Bereshit, right? Which is a famous, there's a famous story there coming out, which is that, Adam HaRishon, Hashem gave him one mitzvah, right? Don't eat the fruit of knowledge, right? The tree of knowledge, whatever. So what happened? He told his wife, He came to his wife, told him, God told us, don't eat that thing. And then he added another thing, stringency. He says, don't touch it, God never told him that, by the way. He made it up on his own volition.
Mm.
So he never told him not to touch it. So what happened was that when the snake came, that's how he fooled, he fooled the girl, the lady, Chava. How did he do it? He pushed her into the tree, and told her, "See, you touched it. Nothing happened to you. Your husband told you not to touch it." So you see, right, that from stringencies come out, sometimes big pitfalls.
Yeah, that's what she got scared.
You know what I mean? So you see from there, that's why the sages say, when you add to the Torah, you're actually taking away from the Torah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't add nothing. Whatever you have, leave it the way it is.
Understood.
You know what I mean? That's usually better, Even the Chazon Ish, who was he was known to be very stringent in this generation, even he said that today, just do the Shulchan Aruch, that's enough. You don't need it to be any more stringent than the Shulchan Aruch. That's all we need. We don't need anything else. We're not on a level today, to get too much into these intricacies. We have to know where we're standing. So there you go, right? So what can I tell you?
So much hope, no?
Yeah, I mean, a person, who's stringent, it's a very interesting approach, but you have to be on a level for that.
You have to know where to.
You have to be very, very, very knowledgeable, extremely knowledgeable in halakha.
Mm-hmm.
Do stringencies, because otherwise, what happens is that it causes an imbalance, in the way you do things. It causes a, seesaw effect. Like you're stringent over here, and then it makes you lenient somewhere else.
Where you shouldn't be lenient, no?
Exactly.
Mm.
So it's like a boomerang kind of thing. It's like a.
No, you have to.
You got to be careful with these things. You got to balance things out. That's the. So yeah, it'd be a piece of good advice, from today's rabbis, from our generation. They say we're not on that level today, to do these stringencies. We're not. So just do the Shulchan Aruch, and believe me, everything will be good. And your life will be good, and your future will be good, and the world to come will be good. Everything will be good.
Yeah, to just keep basics based on the.
Just they say, right, Alavai, we wish that we should do the Shulchan Aruch. I mean, we're not even on that level.
If we're
So, getting into all kinds of stringencies sometimes can be overtaxing.
Yes.
Okay, so
Thank you, Kavod.
God bless. Okay, so anyway, right, getting back to what we said. So the Zelashon Rab Amram, right? This is the language of Rab Amram, one of the Geonim. Katav Achar Siyum Yudchet Brachot. Right after finishing the 18 blessings, Omikan Velach Asur Lesaper B'Shivcho Shel Makom. So he says you can't praise God anymore after that. He says, once you finish the 18, right? You praise them enough, enough, right? There's enough. Enough is enough. It says, so what's the reason why you shouldn't praise God anymore? Because you can't say all his praises. You don't even know them, So whatever the sages wrote, say those, that's good enough, Don't start praising God more. Because you don't know how to do it, It takes expertise to add, praises to God. So just leave it as it is. Believe me, we have enough in there, there's enough praises. So let it go. That's what he's saying, this rabbi. So so he says only the only person who can praise Hashem more is the one who knows all his praises, right? Which we don't, right? We don't know his praises. So therefore we're not qualified for that. But it says, if you want to do confession, that's good, right? Vidui, right? After the 18, after the Amidah. Like the Sfarim, we do Vidui after the Amidah. Also the Hasidim, they do. They took it from us, that custom. But the Ashkenazim, don't do it. So, they don't do it every day, right? We do every day through Vidui. We do confession, right? Twice. Really, so we do like in the morning, Shachrit, and also from Mincha. So he says, right, that it's optional, Now the custom is to do it by us, but in halacha it's optional. It's not really an obligation. That's why the Ashkenazim, they don't do it.
How about for women? Should women do it?
Not obligation.
But should we though?
It's really, as I said, right? It's up to you. It's, if you're not late to work, you got nothing better to do. So go for it, but nobody can tell you you're required to do it.
Because if we do it more than 3 times, we're bound to it, right?
Bleed netter. Just say bleed netter.
No. That doesn't apply to confession, that rule.
Oh, okay.
That applies to customs,
Yes.
Oh, you mean, the custom to do it, you mean?
Yeah.
Right, okay, I got it. I'm sorry, I misunderstood you.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. So what you do is you say Beli Neder, and
So is it the Sephardic custom for women to do it though? I mean, is it?
no.
I don't know. Okay,
No.
I didn't. Just wondering.
I'll tell you, from my experience, because I've had experience, with these things from my rabbis also I've spoken to, what happens is like this, with women in general, okay? I'm not talking about every woman, okay? Because, everything is different. But today, women are working, a lot of them, and they're, they have a schedule, or they're taking care of children and all kinds of things like this. So because of that, they have limited time, time is very limited. Time is a very limited resource for ladies. So therefore, what we try to do is to minimize, their prayers, just to let them do the minimum, because this way they don't feel overburdened, So therefore we tell them, listen, just do the Birkat HaShachar, Birkat HaTorah, say the first parak of Kriyat Shema, do the Amidah, and go to work, right? Get on the bus, whatever, right? Get on the train, and go to your job, that's it, right? Or take care of your children, right? Feed your kids, they're hungry, they can't wait for you until you do your vidui. They're hungry now, they want to eat now, your kids. First give them breakfast, So, so in order to not to discourage them, the best thing to do with women is to give them a short program, This can be done in 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, depending on your speed, what I'm telling you, So, so it's nothing.
And what about us? I have a lot of questions about this. What about us that we don't have any kids? I feel sometimes that if I'm not doing the, I'm not saying that I have to do the whole prayer, but a little bit more of what you just mentioned, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. I get that. I get that. That's very clear. A woman who's not, with children and not, also maybe not working, whatever, right?
Not married.
Yeah, whatever, all these things.
Mhm.
So then, obviously she's going to need more spiritual, right, more spiritual, what do you call it, inspiration. So that means that she may want to do more prayers. She may want to study more, she may want to go to synagogue more,
Mhm.
in order to
Okay.
fill the void. It's a natural thing, it makes, it's logical. That's why, which ladies do you really find in shul, Either the young, girls who are not married, or the old ladies, who are widows or something, Usually those are the ones who come to shul. Because they're sitting at home, not really doing much, so they want to go and get some spirituality,
Thank
That's the
you.
whole thing. Yeah. So, that's the way it is, but the truth is, that it really depends on each person, but we got to tell them the minimum, and the rest is, optional, whatever, whatever they want to do, it's up to them. Whatever they want to add. Okay, so anyway, right, that's the best thing to do, so but a lot of ladies today are very busy, so they really don't have much time. So, we can't overburden them. It's not right to do that. As it is, today, the problem is with women, they're juggling a lot of things, They're working, they're cleaning the house, they're cooking, taking care of children, taking care of the husband, doing laundry, blah, 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 this, that. It's a big juggling job, so there's no time for nothing. This is the problem, So, we gotta And we got to take into consideration these things. So not to overtax them. The truth is that I'll tell you honestly, when in my younger days, when I was very zealous about things, like more than now. What I mean to say is, like I would, like try to, push a little bit. The truth is, when it comes to these things, you can't really push too much. So what does that mean? A smart guy, who sees his wife, can't handle, this juggling act. Instead of, telling her, oh, why can't you do this? Why can't, just don't complain, don't give her a hard time. I mean? Let her do the best she can, and just give her some advice once in a while, in a friendly way. But not to, get on her case, and all the time be complaining like some kind of policeman, watching over her, all the time. What is she doing now? What is she doing now? She's doing her life, she's doing the best she can. What are you gonna do? Kill her? What are you gonna do? Chastise her? It's not proper to be like that. So, women have a hard time today. It's a difficult job.
So if we had a choice, which is better to do, more prayers or more studying?
As I said, studying seems to be the preferred, the preferred method, because you know what it is? Basically, we just don't know enough. We have lack of knowledge. This is the problem. So, in order to avoid that problem, the only way to fix it is to study. So, doing the minimum prayers and more study is probably the best bet. For sure, if it's a man, and even probably for a woman as well. But, I remember my grandmother, she used to read Tehillim a lot, you know what I mean? And a lot women like to read Tehillim, so, it's a very spiritual thing for them. And if they get a good, feeling out of that, they should do it. Why not? It's great. That's a great thing. It's beautiful. Better than surfing the internet, and watching TV and all kinds of nonsense, right? So, women like to read Tehillim. And they're connected to it, And by the way, there's a great reward for reading Tehillim. So a man, of course, should be studying more halakha, serious things, because he needs to know these things, and study, get into the depths of it. But a woman, doesn't have to study halakha all day, so, she can study, let's say half hour a day, 1 hour a day, whatever she can do. That's also good. Okay, very good. So that's the idea. So as we said, right, that we have all these supplications over here. Different rabbis have different supplications, different texts. So he brings all kinds of texts over here. The tour. Right, all these things. So this is the end of the tour, right? So basically, right, we got the whole spiel over here. Right, there's all kinds of supplications. Whatever is written in the Siddur, just do that, and that's good enough. God bless you. You want to do more? No problem. Whatever. You found some good things you like. No problem. Okay, so let's see the Beit Yosef here. So says Beit Yosef regarding this. He didn't mention that he should do these 4 things, right? These 4 things that we just said. That brings the divine presence on you. Do it for the sake of your name, right? All these things. There are people add also these things, kind of words. There are people who add things after the prayers. That's what it says in Haggadah. To add things after the prayers. So it says, it's a little difficult for me. If so, why do you need to bring proof from this Haggadah? You should bring it from the Talmud, right? It says, each rabbi used to say some other various supplications, right? Each one, his own version Batat Tzeloteh after his prayer. Now, the Mishum de Behagada Kama, he says, could be that the reason why he brought it from there is because it says over there, Sheomer Dad Varim Alalu, that the person who says these four things, Zocher Lekabel Pnei Shechina, he receives the divine presence. Nakatla, that's why he brought it from there. The Od Musaf, the Misot Perek Haya Koreh, it says also from the end of that Perek, Vakatab Chada Mehanach Mile. You already wrote one of these things. Havu Amrei Rabbanan, the rabbis would say, Batat Tzelotayub, after their prayers. I know Elohai Netzor, write that one. Umehagada, Umehagada, he brings Leosif Od Dvarim Alav, to add also those four things. And by the way, now the rabbis arranged the whole thing for us, right? So it's pretty much all in there, you know, what we do, what we say, right? All these elements are in there, more or less. Even that what you said, that we add also, some people add these things. That's the end of the edition. He says, all these things, right? Some people add all these things. So it now comes out everything good. That what she wrote. That what it says in Haggadah. It's also brought down the Rokach, right? Besiman Shin Chaf Gimel, over there in this chapter. Or these rabbis bring it down over there, also these texts. So that's my custom, I say that. That's what it says in Rokach. Besiman and Iskar, right? In the aforementioned chapter. The Gama Manhig Katab can also Manhig says this. Okay, so let's do Shulchan Aruch and we're done. Chapter is over. So it says in the Shulchan Aruch Gimel, Haragil Amar Dad by Malalu, right? If you say these four things, the person who does it, you know, constantly, right? Every day. Zocher Umkaber Pnei Shechina. You receive the divine presence, right? It's already in the Siddur, by the way, so you don't have to add anything. What do we say? Aseh leman Shemach, Aseh leman Yeminach, Aseh leman Toratach, Aseh leman Kedushatach, right? For your name, do it for your name, do it for your right hand, do it for the Torah, do it for your holiness. So we already have this, Baruch Hashem. So make sure you say it, right? So God will be with you. And you should be blessed. Bezat Hashem. Chazak Baruch. I don't know. Be blessed with wealth, health, happiness. See you tomorrow, Bezat Hashem. And what can we do? You know, we have a terrible situation. What happened there? By the way, I posted, I'm not sure if you guys saw today, something from one of the books of the Arizal about these souls, you know, that are killed by Goyim. What the reason is and what happens to them and all that. Take a good look at that because it's a very interesting piece there. I also posted something in the Zohar, but also I brought something from the Arizal. Yeah. And they're like together, they're like, you know, they complement each other. So if you read those things, you get a little bit of a depth of understanding of what happens over there. You know, and by the way, it fits in very well with the whole narrative because, you know, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but you know, there was a big problem there. You know, on Simchat Torah, they were having some kind of idiotic party over there. You know, very, very, you know, improper party they were having over there. You know, these Arabs, you know, when they see these things, they get excited. You know, they know that the Jews are sinning. You know, and they start attacking us. This is what happens. You know, so unfortunately, you know, some of these people over there, you know, they got to fix up the situation over there in the south. Bring some yeshivot there, you know, something, whatever. A place where there's no yeshivot, there's no Torah, there's no protection. You have to have Torah, yeshivot everywhere, you know, protection. That's what protects the people. Torah study, you know, so you got to spread the Torah study all over the land there, you know, so make sure, because that's what really protects us. As you see, right, the army can't protect us. You know, they weren't able to do nothing. They slaughtered 1,200 people. Could be even 2,000. You know, everybody they got caught sleeping. You know, these people they weren't able to do nothing. Oh, the Israeli mighty army. Where's the mighty army? Because there's no Torah there. That's why. Instead of they're having some crazy parties over there, you know, instead of dancing with the Torah, they're dancing half naked in the street. So this is what happens, you know, when you have things like this. Hashem should help us. What can I tell you? You got to do tshuva, you know, have to pray.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.